thought I turned that off. Christ, every week I keep forgetting to turn the pants off. Wait, no, that came out wrong as well. Keep your pants on, everybody. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where in the world you're watching this from. Welcome back to the Cochrane Podcast. I am your host, AJ, flying solo tonight. And judging by the episode, yeah, it's probably not the worst episode to fly solo on. I don't really know what to expect for this episode. I'm just kind of expecting it to be run-of-the-mill Ghost Game shenanigans, especially considering what we know of next week. Also, Meg is a sick bunny, so if there was, I have to let her rest some weeks. But anyway, welcome everyone. Jackie, I see you. You're very welcome as ever. So I hope everyone's doing well. Because I'm flying solo this week, I just wanted to bust out the digital avatar. Meg's gonna be hanging out in chat this week, and I hope we all have a good time. Yeah. So I don't really have any news this week. Oh, we got some new key art. Which really kind of cements what's going to be happening next week, I feel. Because I don't think they'd have put this out if next week wasn't going to go the way we think it's going to go. So let me just show that off before we get started. I'm just going to hover out of the way here a sec. And look at this thing. This is some cool art or what? Look, we've got Thetismon, we've got Lemormon looking super scary. We've got Kano Weissmon here. Yeah, like it's the contrast between Ruri and Lemormon is really fun. Because he's just all big and snarly and scary, and he's just like, and she's like, yeah, let's go, we got this. But I mean, that also extends to Kyoshiro and Thetismon. She's like, yeah, let's go, we got this. And he's like, I don't want to do this. So seeing the differences between the two sets of partners here is really fun. And then Hiro and Kano Weissmon, well, they're just Hiro and Kano Weissmon, aren't they? There's nothing that can really change there. Kyo looks like he's in front of Lamore. Oh god, that art, that would have been funnier. So, it's stuff like that that I wish they would release the individual assets so you could mix and match things around. Yeah. Kyoshiro does look like he's scared of Lemormon, and he probably will be next week. But, it's a really fun key art, and I think the version with the text on it says, like, the mystery continues or something on the side here. That was one comment on it that I seen. And then you've just got the Ghost Game label down here and the time of day that it's on. So it's nice that they released a clear version of it. But Justin and Yami, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining in this week. I hope you're all having fun. You know what? Something's not right here. And I need to fix it. Now, obviously, Meg's not with me this week. Meg is going to be hanging out in chat, as we said, but there's just something else missing. So let me see if I can fix that. There it is. Hello, my friend. Come down here, you. You can watch the show with me this way this week. Sounds like things will be getting more serious going based off the poster. Yeah. Is it something throwable in green? Don't you dare, Yami. Don't you dare. I will protect him with all my might. Don't you dare. Such disrespect for you, Wormmon. We'll show her one day. Don't, Meg, don't encourage her. I will get you all. For me, it was all right. So I'm feeling with blue due to one of my favorite games shutting down in 2 months. Oh, oh, that's really sad. I'm sorry. Uh, the weekend was all right, considering the next couple of days sound like torture waiting. Oh, this heat wave that we're meant to be getting. Yeah, super not looking forward to it. 34 degrees. Are you kidding me? I will die. It will. Oh, I won't be able to do. I won't be able to do this next weekend because I just won't exist. The weather will have made me unalive. You know? So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I feel your pain there. The garden's gonna catch fire with all that chopped down tree, and oh my god, could you imagine? I mean, it probably won't, right? I'm sure everything will be fine, but I feel like maybe we should go down and throw 10 buckets of water over it all just to be safe. Just to dampen it up, you know? Um, I'm sure it'll be fine, but good god, that's a scary thought. Thanks for that, Meg. Thank you. It doesn't have to pass a supersized moat? What? Oh. Oh, right, the Irish Sea. I get you. I get you. Yeah, yeah. Moat. I get what you mean. Do you think we may be reading into Lamormon being the possible Skull Greymon? For all we know, he just looks feral. I mean, that's what I thought was going to happen with the sword episode, you know, and then just the power of friendship or something would tame him. But I really don't know what to expect because I won't go into the breakdown of the episode synopses because we went through that last week. Um, but like there's this whole thing with Ruri being dressed up like a like a shrine maiden, and I'm just like, oh, this episode's just gonna be Fatal Frame. Oh, okay. And that's kind of what I'm expecting of it. Is it's just gonna be Fatal Frame Digimon next week. So yeah, I don't know. It's I being super common looking like that doesn't fit. No. Yeah, like if he's Angoramon and Simbar Angoramon like calm and collected and you know and looks like Lamormon, I'd be very confused. But look at that. I mean, I'd say that says a lot for this week's episode that we're already getting into speculation for next week. I'm sure that won't set the tone for our feelings on this week's episode at all. I'm sure that won't do it at all. But and then one thing about the new key art though, if anybody noticed, let me just pop it back up on screen here. Um I don't really have to. Hold on, I might just move out of the way. Is they're still wearing the original version of the Vital Bracelet? The red version isn't on the artwork. Now this might change later on. Maybe they'll do another one when they introduce the new Digivice. But I was kind of expecting that with new key art, we might start getting hints toward the Digivice VV. But no, it's the regular one. So that's kind of intriguing. We might get a new one when Espimon and Ryudamon come into things, but at the pace this show is going, that could be episode 60 for all we know. God, we're on 34. We're on episode 34 today. And we're not done with getting our characters to perfect level, and there's only 3 of them. I I honestly don't know what to make of that. Because I remember saying back in and around episode 20 or so, I wouldn't worry about the slow build of the show unless we were still at this stage in episode 40, and that's getting awfully close for my liking. They also have the winter attires, and now they've got summer outfits. Oh yeah, it's the old outfits, isn't it? It's not their new costumes. Oh yeah. Jeez, I hadn't even clicked on that either. So I'd say this artwork must have been done up a while ago. So maybe there will be a new version with the red Digivices and the updated costumes later on, but yeah. Hmm. Actually, that's a good catch, Yami. Well done. I don't know why I didn't see that myself. But anywho, I'm gonna start the episode now because I really don't have an awful lot to talk about this week in terms of news and collectibles and things. There's gonna be a thing on Tuesday for the 02 movie that comes after Kizuna. So that might be worth watching. Hopefully we get more than just a drawing of Daisuke. That would be fun. Maybe a trailer, maybe some sort of animation. Um that would be super fun. But yeah, and then Digifest is at the end of the month, so maybe hopefully we get some exciting announcements around that time. And of course, um Survive at the end of the month. Unless you go up in flames first. Yeah, well that's the thing, isn't it? Like all things are possible. Your thoughts and prayers would be really appreciated. I don't want to go up in flames, but so thoughts and prayers are appreciated. Please keep me in your thoughts. The good ones. God damn it, Yami. Don't make me come over there. Um anyway. So let's start the episode. As always, I'm watching via the Crunchyroll app, so feel free to join in whether you're watching on Crunchyroll, Anime Lab, or wherever you get your anime from. I'm going to count us down, and I can't do the thing for the Toei cat this week, so, well, use your own judgment. Alright, so, 02 news finally? Yeah, and is Tyrannomon Agumon's main evolution? Because I remember seeing a Greymon. No, Agumon has 3 confirmed champion levels for Survive, which will come into play depending on how you raise your Agumon. So he can either become Greymon, Tyrannomon, or Tuskmon, which I think is a fun little change. I mean, that's unexpected. Um, so it won't be any cooler. It'd be a wasted effort. Uh, yeah, well, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. So, you know, yeah. Anyway, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. Cat's in the air. Roll up. Right. So, episode 34, Wall Crawlers. Let's go. Hey, Pedja. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to the show. But for me, I'll probably try and get the Tyrannomon route. Hey, Juggernaut. Faction. 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 How are you guys doing today? You having a good weekend? Survive comes out in 2 weeks. Y'all excited? I am. We'll probably end up getting a new opening in a few weeks because of Lamormon. Whether it's an evolving OP based on what we have, or the or just a brand new opening, I'm not sure. But we'll be due some update in about 2 weeks, so I may pre-order it unless it's too late. I'm sure you could probably get it. Oh, happy birthday, Desmond. Welcome. This was an okay episode. Yeah, I'm figuring this episode is going to be just standard Ghost Game fare. I can't imagine it's going to be anything too special. You know, the usual creepiness is going on, but is it? Hey, Reiko! Welcome! Him riding around on the Hoover is... Yeah, that's apt. Is it not weird for Hero going back to the house when, like, there's a hole in the ground caused by something? You know? Oh god, that... Oh! Oh, that breakage! Oh, or the cracking with the neck! Oh! It melted the window! Oh, well, this feels weird. Nanami and Digimon means something different for me. This is weird. He's so happy! Just a happy Gamamon. Look at him, he's so cute. The biggest catch of this episode is this thing called parents get a mention. Not sure what those are. Oh, Christ, that's terrifying. Do you know what? The fact that Gamamon is actually enamored almost by it makes sense. Remember him playing with the snakes a while ago? So him being all like, ooh, Wriggly is in character. Surprised that her parents don't have her tied to the bed exorcist style. Well, I mean, judging by how cut up they are, it's probably not for lack of trying. Oh god, its neck. Ugh. See, her phone is staying in her pocket. You know, those phone carrying geckos, right? The dad has taken a beating. Yeah. Hell? The DBZ neck? Oh, that's good. That's good. They kind of make a nod to it this week. What, the pandemic? Because we were watching Resident Evil, the new Netflix show, and they just outright say it. And I'm just like, that feels forced. Sounds wet. Ugh. Moist. Oh. Digimon lost to a human. Can't you fly? Oh. Ew. Oh, ew, just ew. I'm all spitting out the rings. Just, oh, gross. Oh, and here comes Salamander. Salamandermon. Um, Not getting killed off this week, it seems. Oh, let me guess. Diamonds make the fire better because carbon. Is he gonna break out into a song about shiny things? Maybe not. So there is a song in Digimon called Salamander. It's the character song for the lead in Frontier. I don't want any more trouble. Oh, watch now. Let Hero have his moment. Oh, am I right? Oh, okay. Fun. Sleepover! Uh, Rory staying all by herself at a boy's house because her parents are away. How rebellious. But oh no. Oh no, Gecko Rory, no! Yeah, salamander, like Agnimon's burning salamander. Oh, I get it. Oh no, 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 no. I hate it. I hate you're a lizard, Rory. Oh Christ. No, 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 no. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. No. Oh, why? Why? Oh, oh. Ugh. Speaking of Frontier, even though I didn't like it that much, at least had a plot with Cherubimon and Lucimon. This so far does not. We're getting there. I don't think this is going to be your traditional Digimon season at this stage, Pedra. I don't think we have 20 episodes to wrap up the plot. This feels like it's just gonna go until it can't anymore at this stage. Like, we were watching Ghost Stories, myself and Meg, right? We were watching Ghost Stories, and that show kind of follows the same formula as this. Um, there's an urban legend about a ghost. They have some information on how to stop it, and the enemy is defeated in a uh they're defeated in a non-standard way. It's very similar, like strikingly so. Um, it just doesn't have the digivolving. But oh yeah, the dub, that's where we are watching the dub for Ghost Stories. And but the show is like structurally it's this. It is Ghost Game structurally. Oh god. Can you imagine oh no, there's been another problem at Umbrella. Time, Pedja. I I think we just got to be patient on them. They haven't been forgotten about. It's just not time to tell that story. We'll get there. I think I'd die on the spot if there were gecko people on the ceiling. Oh yeah, definitely. But they also have a Digimon too, but it was a possessed cat. Yeah. I called it. Sweet. Oh, Kyoshiro, why? Oh god, could you imagine? Could you imagine One Piece today? Like One Piece has like what 1,000 episodes now, or 1,000 manga chapters or something. Could you imagine it today? Like, what do you mean we're 100 episodes in and haven't found the One Piece? Could you imagine that? If you sat through it till this point, I reckon they believe they have you till the end. Oh, basically. It reached 1,100? Jeez. Gulus hasn't been mentioned in 12 episodes. He hasn't needed to be because he was overpowered in the Vandemon episode. So that's still in the background. He was overpowered in the Vandemon episode. Oh, Gecko Ruri though. Ah, not the tongue. Why is she just Girahim? He got a nod the other week with Musyamon. Oh yeah. Oh, stop with the tongues! Oh, I can't. I can't deal with this. Oh, that's a really good. That was a really good thing for Battle Gamamon there. He looked really fucking fierce instead of how Sonic-y he normally looks. Oh, do you know what would be really fun? Tesla Jellymon here electrocuting everybody. Short circuits Ruri's Digivice somehow, and that's why Lemormon happens next week. I mean, that probably won't be it. This will be forgotten about next week, but there was one really cool thing Adventure 2020 did where Taichi's Digivice got short circuited, right? It got an electric current through it, and that's what caused the evolution to um God, other Gray Blitz Greymon. So if they did something similar here, that'd be fun. Salamander uses self-destruct. Oh god. I love Battle Gamamon's black fire effects. They're still really cool all this time later. Also, Angoramon holding the Gecko Ruri. That's sweet. That is really sweet. Battle Gamamon with the headlock. Alright, Battle Gamamon's my favorite character this week. I don't care. I thought that was Rory for a sec. I was like, wait, no. Gray hair, not black or brown. the ponytail thing on the side. She looked like Ruri for a second. But if that makes sense, Ruri's still out with the others. And now here's Battlegamamon looking more Sonic-y than he did a minute ago. Pencils? Oh, right, the graphite. Yeah, yeah. Wooden pencils in this era? I last someone in the art club. Uh, I mean, it is weird, right? Like even by today's standards, like who uses pencils anymore? People barely use pens, right? So gotta go fast, Battlegamamon. Basically, yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of what I figured. This episode was just standard Ghost Game fare. You could skip this episode, you wouldn't miss anything important. There wasn't even any world building. There wasn't, it wasn't, 20 minutes of nothing and then 5 minutes of loosely tying it to the overall story. So, yeah, this episode was fine. I wasn't bored by it, which is we artists do, even if we work digitally. That was the joke as well in the episode. I'll ask the art club, right? But outside of artists, realistically, who uses pencils anymore? I still think it's weird that they're doing these monster profiles at the end of the episodes, like 30 something episodes in. Pareidolia. I'm washing my ceiling today. Oh, here we go. Next week. Sacrifice required. Oh god, this is just Maiden of Blackwater. Oh my god, next week's episode is just Fatal Frame. What the hell? less possessed camera and more of the backstory, but I thought it was strange they didn't play first. I didn't even notice they didn't play First Riders, but there you go. Hiro and Kyoshiro's banter at the end is sweet, though. You don't get to see it much in the show itself, as Kyoshiro is often too busy freaking out. Yeah. As long as you aren't one of the weirdos who wants everything to be revealed and settled in as few episodes as possible. In the end, that's what Ghost Game wants to do. It's an entertaining show to follow, but it's never boring. Yeah, definitely. Like, this episode was fun, but it's entirely skippable if you're focusing on plot, right? If you want to absorb everything the series has to offer and judge it as a full product, yeah, watch it. But if you're just focusing on storytelling and plot, it's entirely skippable. It's entirely skippable. And that's fine. Some shows should just be allowed to have breather episodes where, something happens, but it doesn't affect the grander scope of the world. So I don't have a problem with it at all, really. Binge watching culture has made a lot of people impatient, as the likes of Netflix and that have made it easy to watch something in one day. Yeah. I like how Kyoshiro went the extra mile so that company could replace the diamonds for fake ones and not lose any. And the company went, nah, this must be a prank, let's send the real ones. And now most new shows are 8 to 13 episodes max, so things get resolved pretty fast. Yeah. Well, then most of the episodes are skippable. I would disagree. Because a lot of episodes, even if they don't advance the story, They still do world building that you need to pay attention to. I think as long as you still have world building to pay attention to, that's not a wasted episode. But again, I mean, if the show is still fun to watch, the show can take another 40 episodes to resolve its story for all I care. I would look, don't get me wrong, I would love to see them start, maybe putting the gas down on some of the lingering threads. And we're getting Lamormon next week, judging by the new key art, right? They wouldn't be showing something like this off if we weren't getting Lamormon sooner rather than later. So, despite actually getting news of multiple diamond robberies in the area, yeah, when it has been scientifically proven that binging a show is the least satisfying way to watch something. Yeah, it's I don't know. Look, everyone's going to have different feelings about the show and what it should and shouldn't do, and that's fine. That's brilliant. That's where conversation comes from. That's where learning different outlooks comes from. So that's all fine. I don't think anybody's necessarily wrong in this regard. But I do feel that most episodes of the show aren't skippable. Like personally, because there's always something in the background that carries on story from last week. So Betsumon being in the hospital as a nurse. Why is that happening? Well, if you missed last week's episode, you don't have the context for that. Um, you know, Stuff going on with Angoramon's group. What's happening there? Well, let me tell you. Such and such from a while ago, and it's just this been ongoing thing of Angoramon bringing new members into the group, and this little community of Digimon that sort of puts its head down, formed a book club, and just tries to stay out of trouble. It's fine. But with Mushroomon a few weeks ago, he doesn't make an awful lot of sense without the context of Angoramon's group. So there is world building to pay attention to. This episode, not so much. I mean, I remember when we had the Kayano episode, and I know Clatter was asking, well, why should we care about Kayono, right? Perfectly valid question. She just turned up. This was one episode. That was one episode. Nanami here, I think is a much more extreme version of that because you don't get to see Nanami as a character. She is a plot device. And that's the difference between Nanami and Kayono. They both have a similar role within the story, but Nanami is a very watered down version of what they did with Kayono. Somebody that exists in one of the main characters' lives that you haven't seen before because they're off in the background somewhere. But Nanami didn't get a personality. She didn't get a character. We didn't see her grow and change and sort of go, oh no, I was a lizard person and I hurt people. Why was I stealing diamonds? Where Kayono, had that moment of realization like, oh, I've been a real jerk. What have I done? Oh no. We got to see Baby Hero, which was adorable. Yeah. It was more world building in 2020 and other show. No, there was not. There was not more world building in 2020. Look, I know you're upset that this episode hasn't given you the entire story right away, but let's not make stuff up. Adventure 2020 had 2 episodes of storytelling and then 40, 60 odd episodes of fighting. Let's not make stuff up. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back to my Adventure 2020 rankings here. Hold on. Uh, Episode 5? Was that the one with the Coliseum? 4 or 5, one of those. So episode 4 or 5 Then episode 9, oh sorry, episode 8, the attack on the fortress, right? So that's 2. And then there wasn't really anything until 51, the mystery hidden within the crests. Like there was 3 episodes of storytelling and 64 episodes of fighting. I don't know. I know. No, I like, and what's funny is, like, well, not funny, like, what will be interesting is that when the dub for 2020 comes out, I'll be watching it again, right? That's the only reason I'll put myself through 2020 again. I have no desire to go back and watch the Japanese version because it's still fresh in the mind. But I want to see what other actors do with the roles. And I know Meg hasn't watched it all from top to bottom either. So it'll be nice to get that sort of fresh perspective on it when the dub does come out. But but yeah, like but like for like episodes 4, episode 9, and then episode 51. You know, those were your main storytelling episodes of the grander scope of the plot. Everything else was also Monster of the Week. The stuff with Angemon and Devimon, they really didn't do anything with in the grand scheme of things. It was a fun idea, but they didn't do anything with it that affected the overall structure of the show. It's um the only thing 2020 had was constant winks to the lore that it ignored. Can someone tell me what was Sora's character in 2020? No, honestly, someone tell me what Sora's character was. Can someone tell me why, when they went back to the real world, Kyoshiro was very hesitant and scared about the idea of talking about his parents? Can someone tell me that about 2020? Kyoshiro, not Kyoshiro. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, okay. My point still stands. Who's Sora? I don't know. She keeps turning up on my trading cards. The thing about Telmon and Patamon being from the Great Angels that fought in the past, completely irrelevant when they did absolutely nothing in the big fights. Sure, they look cool becoming big dragons, but they did literally nothing for that fight. Yeah, remember when everybody just stayed in energy orbs created by Godramon? That was fun. From what I understand, from what I've heard, a Sora is something that exists to be stepped on for others' development. Oh, fuck. Ow! Oh, that's a shot through the heart. Ah! Who had personalities in 2020? Yeah, who had character development in 2020? I know that Taichi lad had a bit of character. No, that wasn't. No, he just got a lot of screen time. Meg is a savage. Mimi. Oh, I mean, Mimi was the main character, right? Nobody else. Yeah, Mimi went from like spoiled princess to refined lady. Okay, fine. Mimi is cheating. Mimi is cheating. That's rough, but not wrong. Sora is a girl that likes soccer and loves to help Digimon and likes Tai Chi. And oh, okay, so she's a plot device for Tai Chi. Hey, Androius. Tai Chi even cut into everyone's mega level episode. Yeah. Joe, what was Joe's development? Liked French fries? Like the point I'm getting at is these kids never had episodes where they resolved the tensions of their home life that made them the characters they were. Right? Now Ghost Game sort of steps around that by never having the parents around to begin with. And it hasn't even tried to hint at a greater scope issue outside of Hero wondering why his dad is, bumming around in the digital world being a science hobo. Never did understand how the original Sora went from footy to tennis to anti-sport. Oh, because posh refinement. Try didn't happen. What's a try? It's not. Oh, come on! Don't do Maki and Daigo dirty like that. Don't do Maki and Daigo dirty like that. No. But look, it's easy to joke around and sort of 2020 Takaru, he was brave. Yeah, that was fun. He's I do like the 2020 Takaru wasn't as much of a crybaby. Um Hero will be in every episode, and I'm still upset that episode 25 started as a Rory episode and ended like a hero. Yeah, and we've called them out on that every week since it happened. Nobody's saying that didn't happen. It still makes no sense that the Vamdemon episode started as a Rory episode and then ended with Kano Weissmon. That still makes no sense. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is excusing that. The franchise is known to have a protagonist issue sometimes. Look at Young Hunters versus, well, yeah, just look at Young Hunters. Did Tagaru really need to be as in everybody's face as he was? Kairi is Kingdom Hearts. um, but I think Kari and Try was a very natural progression of what they set up in season one. Like I'm still kind of I still don't know how I feel that her superpowers were just ignored in season two. There was one or two mentions of the Dark Ocean, and then they kind of did nothing with her. Tagru was just Daisuke on steroids. That is fair. I'm interested to see the 2020 dub though. It's been a few years since I watched the original, so my brain cell will tell us whether it's empty or understandable. Yeah, and I'm kind of looking forward to that, getting a fresh perspective, getting a new fan's take on this media is always one of the things I love about doing the live show now. Because there are like I've had getting tongue tied here. I will have moments, and I've admitted as much, where I might just look at the franchise with a blind oh and sort of need to be go, no, this is bad because reasons. So I'm having that grounding is very fun for me as well. So getting your take on 2020 is going to be more interesting, Meg, because 2020 is currently looked through the lens of a fan base who grew up on Adventure 99. Getting somebody who came into the franchise 30 years later is going to be is going to be you know, that's going to be super fun. Still weird hearing Shoutmon as Agumon. Well, I mean, it's just the other way around, isn't it? Because in Cross Wars, Agumon was Shoutmon. So we're just the franchise is just looping back in on itself. Um, but even these little debates that we get into are super fun, you know. And I don't want anyone taking these seriously. These are never personal attacks, and I never want anyone coming away feeling like that. So these are never personal attacks. Um, you know, your opinion isn't invalid or wrong. I just disagree. But, you know, if we all like the same thing and we all like things in the same way, that would be almost more bland because there's no discussion to be had there. We don't get moments like these debates and who developed their characters and their story and their fights and their this and their that better. You know, what are the strengths and weaknesses of a particular show? You don't have that discussion if everybody's just, this is great, this is great, this is great. Yeah, don't feed Negamon. See, Desmond gets it. See, don't feed Negamon. That's you have people who think Digimon is dead unless they see what they grew up with on screen. It's kind of like how Pokemon, the original 150. Yeah, you know, and Gen 1ers are a terrible thing that exist in every franchise, you know? I'm sure, like, if Metabots or Monster Rancher or Duel Masters got a reboot today, the same thing would happen. And I'll be honest, I would love to see a new Metabots anime. Note to self: get DVD set for original first season. Because season 2 and 3 did not connect to the first season. They were in name only. Twitter feeds him enough. Us doing a little bitching won't add that to it. Yeah. Nagamon? You mean discount Diablomon? Oh, that's harsh. I mean, fair, but harsh. So yeah, no, guys, look, this is never, you know, look, I appreciate the discussion and the back and forth and the banter and everything. So never take it personally. It's never about you. You know, so never, please, I beg you, never take it that way. Ooh, I need more rum. If I'm gonna be fighting with the chat, I need more alcohol. 2020 copied our wargame like 5 times. Yeah, that still bugs me. Omegamon in episode 2. Like, what? Why? Like, all the dramatic tension of Omegamon showing up just sucked out of the show 2 episodes in for a cheap pop or a cheap rating. Rummymon over here. That is, technically speaking, that is a Nannymon. I said that all the time and it got dismissed. Oh, at the time. Yeah, no, and you're not wrong, Yami. I think we've said it as well. I think in the moment it was it was cool, but it was also very okay, but why? Like, what do you do now? How do you escalate the scale? You know, when you have Algomon filling in for Diablomon in that role, and look, don't get me wrong, like Appmon does this as well in a particular episode. Appmon basically does Revenge of Diablomon in one episode. It's not immune. The franchise loves to be self-referential, but like 2020 doing our war game like 3 or 4 times was a bit much, you know? But again, looping it back to Ghost Game, that really does show how missable and sort of forgettable this episode is going to be in the long run, because we're not talking about this episode. We're talking about the grander scope of the show, and we're talking about the previous shows and what they did and this and that, and that's kind of sad. I mean, this is episode 34, so if I just go back to my 2020 rankings, episode 34 of episode 34 of 2020 was Hikari and Tailmon. So that is the one. That's the one where they're not. They haven't met Marine Angemon yet, but Tailmon has already been saved from Dark Nightmon, right? Meanwhile, on Digimon Ghost Game episode 35, Fatal Frame. Yeah, that was my next point. Like episode 35 of 2020 was the episode where Angelwomon appears against Marine Devimon. So we're getting an ultimate episode at both stages, but yeah. But there's about the same amount of world building between the two shows at this point. Um Oh, Yami, I'm the same. I'm just lucky I have the rankings from the podcast reviews. That's to sort of go back on and look at the episode titles and be like, oh, right, yeah, it was that one. You know? Was an episode. Well, I think it was before they got. Was it when they left? Oh, no. 34 was the underwater city. They left it at that point, hadn't they? They weren't on their way to it. They had actually left it. Oh, well, either way, I mean, 35 is the Marine Devimon episode, and Anjouamon turns up in that one. And then next week we're getting Lemormon in a very Maiden of Blackwater feeling episode. Damn this chair. Let the pleather is not doing well in the warmth. I bet that if you give me a month, I can write a far better version of Adventure 2020. Stares awkwardly at the file on his desk on their desktop. I did have a script for that. I was meant to do a whole video on it, and then other stuff got in the way, and I haven't had a chance to complete it. 34 was the underwater city. Okay, so that was the Marine Angemon episode. So that was the Marine Angemon episode. Yeah. See, the problem is now we're so far removed from when 2020 ended. I don't remember enough of the show to go back and rewrite it now. I'd have to rewatch the show and redo all my notes and everything else. But Metabots came over. It's like people wanting a Gundam Wing level series to come over, so it'd be easier to get the Gunplas again. Yeah. Waiting for your Hacker's Memory Cyber Sleuth script too. Yeah, I know. I need more time, Yami. I need less work and more time. My day job and my night job keep getting in the way. Right, so I'll just get over to the rankings and such then, will I? We'll take a breather. Rokusho was great. He was much of a masochist as Drashiro. Anyway, moving on. Did I check out Dragon Quest? No, I did not. It's finding time. Like how many? Hold on, let me go into the Dragon Quest thing because it'll probably be in my recommendeds. How many episodes is that? Like 80 something. I know the Crunchyroll app likes to recommend it to me every now and then, so let me have a look. There it is. Yeah, it's on my watch list along with Love After World Domination. Like that's something I want to watch because it's a Sentai show. But well, of a sort. So let's have a look. Good lord, 86 episodes. Night Job, as in YouTube, something like that. Yeah. The other me. Uh anyway. See what I wanted to do with the cyber sleuth and hacker's memory thing, because that wasn't so much of a rewrite as it was piecing the two stories together into like one narrative. And I wanted to get the chat involved with that, but there's a lot of stop and start there when you're not just working with cutscenes and you have to go through the actual monster raising part of it and all like the mini side quests and things. So I often wonder if it would just be easier to get the main cutscenes in video format and just sort of reorganize everything and use that as a foundation. But Dragon Quest will have 100 episodes. Oh, I just don't know. That was kind of where I checked out on One Piece. I was like, nah, no, I'm okay. Um, difference I found with the podcast on your 2021 is that you enjoy the week to week overall with Ghost Game. And 2020 didn't deliver weekly or overall. You were constantly frustrated with it. Whereas Ghost Game just seems to be good fun, even if it overall doesn't deliver on plot yet. Yeah, and that's really it. Like 2020 is kind of like Bayonetta. You know, it's popcorn. It's a popcorn show. It's got these big action set pieces, and the plot is sort of secondary to all of that. But the stuff they did try to do, just didn't feel. Uh, yeah. Well, you quit One Piece, understandable. You have to be king of the pirates to go through. Yeah, and I'd rather be Kaiser of the Digimon world. But what? Who said that? Huh? Um, translating a game to another format is pretty complicated. Like I'd say it's not like the Cyber Sleuth stories are fairly linear, so I wouldn't say it's the most difficult thing in the world to do. But trying to do it around gameplay streams is just where time ran out on me because I've got my day job. The other me has the night takes over the night shift. And then there's this every week. Now maybe when Ghost Game is over and we start doing Tamers reviews, maybe there'll be a bit more wiggle room or something. I don't know yet because we haven't worked out how the Tamers reviews are going to work. But like it is an idea I want to come back to. Particularly because Survive isn't going to tie into it at all. And we already know that the next Digimon story game isn't going to be in that universe. So we don't have any additions to the lore to worry about. We have a framework for that. So it is something I want to do, but it's just time. you know? Um Getting into One Piece is complicated since it feels overwhelming with how long it is. Did I watch Blue Dragon? I think I did. I don't remember enough of it. Uh, was that the one with the booby lady protagonist? No? Oh, well, then I'm thinking of something else. Right. Well, look, let's jump over to. Sorry, Meg has just pulled up a poster for Blue Dragon. Yeah, that one in the blue tank top. That's the girl I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah, okay. So, oh, crap, that's not what I wanted. Uh, oh, I'll just. Oh, okay, cool. I have it here. Right. So, post game. Right. So, my only contact with Blue Dragon was a manga of Blue Dragon. Yeah, I think I may have played the video game. I'm not sure about the anime now, but I might have played the game in 2007. That's a long time ago. Um, you know what? Wormmon should be on top of the rankings. You know what? Yeah. You know what? You're right. That should be a thing. Let's move him up here. Okay. So, uh, so what do I want to do? I like. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna. I This episode is tough because again, it's so skippable. But it wasn't like boring or anything, right? So I'm gonna say my favorite character this week was Betel Gamamon, just because fire. But I think this episode's like a 3. Like it's not bad enough to be like a 2 or a 2.5 or anything, but definitely not a 30. Let's not break the scale that much. Um, but it is like it's completely missable. It's a fun, enjoyable episode in its own bubble, but and in that it's not bad enough to be like a 2 or a 1. So I think I'm okay with just leaving it at 3. It's probably a low 3 at that. Let me just have a look at the chat here. Meg says 3 as well. Salamandermon perfected Ayataramon's efforts. A worm virus. He is not a virus. He is a good boy. Yami gave it a 3.5. Interesting. Um, just break the scale. No, no. It has to be a very special episode to do that. And so far, nothing has been up to the caliber of Executioner to do that. Then I think about it, this is the sort of mentality now that enjoying it and having fun is not enough. Like those ads of in this day and age playing a video game without getting anything out of it isn't worth it. I don't agree with that. That sounds a bit too EA and corporate for my liking. Um like they treat it as work. Enjoying it isn't enough. You basically have to be paid to have fun. Oh god, no. Never. Um so let's see. So I'll fill in Meg's score. Meg gave it a 3. And what about character, Meg? Do you have one? Should I just put an NA in? Like I just loved how aggressive Betelgamamon was to Salamandermon with the headlocks and like the goddamn what's the Iron Sheik's move? Like the that Miro clutch thing. Is it just a camel clutch? Is that all it is? Like him doing that to Salamandermon, it got a pop out of me. Um, and him just being all like, "My fire will never lose to yours." I just enjoyed how aggro Betelgamamon was this week. But then I mean, there was some really cool effects, and then the gecko people looked really creepy, and especially Nanami when she threw her head back and the neck, you could just hear that. It's like, oh, that really grossed me out. So yeah, like I don't think it deserves to go beyond to go lower than a 3, but it didn't really do anything else to make me put it above a 3 either. Um, Gecko Ruri, you know what? That's fine. A lot of people like that are like that though. If you just want to enjoy the story and not get good, that offends people. That sucks. Hmm. All right. Well, look, I'll put that in Gecko Ruri. Um, and then, uh, yeah, I feel like this writes itself for both of us above freezing hell. Yeah, I feel like our bottom rows are so similar that if I think it's a better episode than freezing hell, you probably will too. But I don't think it was better than Killer Blade. Specify that it's Gecko. Oh, I did. I did. Yeah. Right, well, look, while you're sussing that out, I'll just do my own one. All these wall crawlers this week, and not one photo of Spider-Man. What the hell? Maybe I should give it a 2 just for that. Um. Okay. And oh gosh. Meg agrees. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. So that makes Wall Crawlers our 30th best episode out of 34. Not awful. That's not an awful placement. How do I have no 2s? Because I don't think any episode has been that bad. I've certainly been tempted on the Cursed Song or the Doll's Manor, but I feel like the creepiness of those episodes sort of overwhelm the detraction of Sirenmon just being like, okay, thanks, bye, and Pumpkinmon just being like, I wanted friends. Because even like that episode is creepy with Pumpkinmon stabbing into people's faces. Yeah, sure, they have the pumpkins on, but like that's the imagery they're going for, right? That he's stabbing them in the face. But you've also got like those really funny moments where you just see him dragging people beyond the curtains, and that still gets a chuckle out of me. So I can't rank it any lower than where it is. Um, and Meg just hated Cursed Song more than I did, which is fine because Cursed Song is awful, but um, but I think just for the overall creepiness of the episode, it's still better than Doll's Manor. But that's me. That's just me. Two possible reactions in Hero scenario: screaming or freezing. because the series doesn't really have bad episodes. Yeah, it has episodes that are bad in comparison, but not episodes that are simply bad anime. No. People crawling on the ceiling also always reminds me of the scene in Exorcist 3, with the possessed old lady crawling really fast across the ceiling, so it always gets me. Yeah. Oh, they might have been going for some of those vibes as well, given all the other references. There's even one or two, there's an Exorcist reference even in the opening titles. So, yeah, that's probably intentional. Maybe that's why they went with geckos. Maybe they wanted to do something like that, especially with the neck cracking and such. The only thing we were really missing is just the head spinning on its own, but that'll probably be a different episode if we haven't done that trope already. Um that Ruri and Hero apparent that Ruli and Hero apparently look so similar in appearance that the difference can't bet old while sleeping. Wait, can't be told while sleeping. And to be fair, no, wait, is that for me? Or was that something in the plot? Because I mixed Nanami and Ruli up at the end. Um, because Nanami just looked like Ruli with lighter hair. I told you, like that just doesn't like Nanami for me means somebody completely different, and we all know this. So giving another character the same name, my brain just doesn't acknowledge it. It doesn't recognize that character as that name, so it's all big spooky ghost kidnapping until you see the little body dragging the big person. Oh yeah, for Doll's Manor, yeah. Zombie episode. Yeah, have we done like a proper zombie episode yet? Hmm? No, Meg has just reminded me of something. And oh my god, yes, that is going to be awful. Sorry. Um Zombie. What episode was it with the green monkey Digimon? Oh, with Koemon? That was yeah, is that Shiki Warashi? Plot-wise, Salamandermon went to go after Hero, but Ruli was in his room instead, and apparently the kid with short hair looked like the same as the kid with long hair. They were under blankets. It was dark. I don't know. Convenience. Also, Ruri just keeps having awful stuff happen to her. And I'm hoping that factors into next week. It probably won't, but I'm hoping. I always get that mixed up with Kamaitachi. Yeah. It's it's kind of why I'm glad they translated Sujigiri, just to prevent that, but you know, it works either way. At least he didn't try to eat her. Oh god, no. I'm done with the vor in this franchise, thank you. After 2020, I'm done with vor in this franchise. No, thank you. Um, so much vor. So much Digivore in 2020. Ugh. Anyway, so I guess I'll jump over to the comments then, and we'll get ready to wrap up. So, let me get this off screen here. Wormon, yeah, come here to me, buddy. Yeah, good lad. Okay, you gonna sit on my shoulder? Okay. Yeah, good lad. You sure? Uh, you sure? No? Okay, down you go. Good boy. Good lad. Anyway, Ruri Vorm. Oh no, no, Desmond, no. I, oh, there was enough tongue action in this episode as well. It all just reminded me of Girahim from Skyward Sword. Ugh, just Um, we had Digimon eat other Digimon for the sake of evolution in 2020. Yeah, yeah, we did. All the saliva. Eesh. Okay, moving on. Let me just bring the comments up so I can go over last week. And we'll get started then. Oh, or get started on wrapping up, I should say. Oh, it's a Digi world out there. Yeah, true. All right. So, uh, on the border of life and death. 4 comments to go through. Nothing held for review. That's good. YouTube seems to have copped on not to be blocking people's comments. That's nice. Um, Newest first. Okay. So we'll start with Pedge's comment, and then we'll work our way up. So we have a comment from Pedja, we've one from Clatter, we have Ataro, and then we have Justin. So good to see everyone as always. And let's see what you guys had to say in after the show. So, in regards to last week's episode, um, Whispers of the Dead, still a great episode title. This was okay, 3.5 at best. Next week's episode looking interesting and creepy. I hope we see Gulus again. Come on, it's been 12 episodes since we last seen him. There was no need for Gulus to turn up this week. And yes, I'm super looking forward to episode 35, Werewolf, hoping to see Black Wergurumon versus Lamormon. Let's go. Other episodes 36 and 37, not so much. Maybe. I need to look at that preview again, but I don't think we know who the enemy for next week is. They haven't really hinted at anything toward it, unless I missed something on that episode preview. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up to be sure. Let's see. Watch again, episode 34. Let me just zoom right to the end here. Oh, maybe? Is that? Huh. I see cables running. The opening the opening screen looks like an X-ray, which is weird. Um yeah, it looks like the side of a building, but then there's also this thing that looks like a light switch. So it's definitely the X-ray of something. Let's see, it has the chat enlightened us. Um, we need a separate list for the human deaths. Yeah, so what is that then? It looks like an X-ray of something's arm. Because there's definitely wires and circuitry and stuff coming out of it. But then there's also what looks like light switches, so I'm not 100% sure. Okay. I'm just gonna look at it again. Uh, oh, maybe, yeah. Interesting. It's definitely like that's definitely it looks like the bone or an arm or something going across it. That could just be the hologram ghost seeing through it. But there's no other hint of what the enemy might be next week. Is the enemy are the enemies just humans next week? But no, it does say an unidentified monster is causing trouble, so it's going to be a Digimon. But whether it's a black Wergarurumon, I don't know. Given the Spirit Maiden aspect of the imagery next week, I don't know if Punk Rock Wolf blends in, you know? I know the episode is called Werewolf, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I know I said this last week, but I still don't know if I like the idea of the enemy being Black Wergarurumon because I don't think he fits in with the aesthetic of the episode. The humans are calling it a werewolf, but Cerberusmon werewolf mode? No. Maybe just Cerberusmon normally. I don't know if we take the I don't know if we take the werewolf part of the title at face value or not. That could just be urban legend stuff. What if it's a Leomon? Oh god. No! We just broke the curse! Would have said Fagmon, but that's only a champion. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It also has to be perfect level. Like, I would prefer Cerberusmon over the werewolf mode because the werewolf mode has the two stupid gun head things. But I don't know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the monster of the week is next week at the very least. But but I don't know if I don't know if I like the idea of them throwing Black Wergarurumon in because reasons. Mirage Gaugamon would be funny. No, here Black Mirage Gaugamon would be funny, and I'm putting the emphasis on the black version because it's always been the black version that shows up, right? Black Agumon, Black Galgamon, Saber Dramon, Dark Flare Lizamon. It's always the Black Tailmon Uber. It's always the dark version of the Digimon that shows up. So in these cases, so I don't know. Wrestling champion oh no, that would have to be Mock Galgamon then, wouldn't it? Mirage Galgamon's the mega level. So like a black mock Galgamon turning up, wrestling champion mock Galgamon versus Lamormon. That'd be funny. Lobomon? Yeah, probably not. I don't know if we take the werewolf in the title at face value. Mad Leomon? Yeah, Mad Leomon is a good shout, but again, champion level. But if it is the Black Garurumon, wouldn't this start the introduction of the story of that group? And quite possibly, for that reason alone, maybe it would be. I just don't know if he'd fit in among like the ritualistic aspects of next week's episode, but hell, if it does something to further the plot along and to bring in the greater scope villain or his group of underlings or something, to satisfy the masses, then sure, why not? I just don't think he's aesthetically pleasing for what this episode is going to be going for. But I guess we'll see it in motion. Maybe it'll work better in practice than in theory. All right, so continuing on, we did sort of just drop off that comment. So let me go back to this real quick. Episode 36 and 37, not so much. So we're at episode 33. Are we at the halfway mark now? I don't know. Like, much like the Dragon Quest show being on like 85 or 84 or whatever, I could definitely see Ghost Game doing the same thing. There's enough material within Japanese folklore and Western folklore and everything else in between to drag out the hologram ghost concept and work and go into different urban legends and things. There's enough material there to keep the show going for a while. I don't know if we judge this series based on other programs or other elements of this franchise and say, well, it's only 54 episodes, it's only this, it's only that. I get the feeling at this point the show will end when Toei says it ends. Anyway, so Peggy goes on to say, if so, I hope after episode 40 we get some plot regarding Guluskammamon and Hero's dad in the digital world, and something about Black Agumon. I hope we learn something about that artificial virus that created Digimon. I don't know if we will at this stage. If anyone's expecting Leviathan at this stage, I think you might be in for disappointment. I think that was just lore and world building. At this stage, I don't know if that's going to factor back into anything. That could just be, this is where Digimon come from in this universe. We might have all read too much into that one. So I'll say it. Just maybe temper your expectations. Just maybe temper them a little bit. And why they're entering the real world and what's the deal with Black Tailmon? Well, Black Tailmon just seems to be a courier, right? I don't know if there is any greater scope reason other than she is, or he is Digimon FedEx, or well, Uber. The show will probably run until April 2023 because Dragon Ball Super is set to return next year around April, and Ghost Game is in its time slot. Possibly. I mean, if something else ends in the meantime or it changes TV station, Digimon is not a stranger to changing TV channels partway through the season or after a certain arc. So that might happen. It could run till April, which, to be fair, if it runs till April, that means the show will have run for about a year and a half. So we're definitely not at the halfway point. Well, taking the hiatus and such into account, maybe we are. But if it runs till April, I mean, that still has, right, we're only mid-July now, so that is still August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That is still 9 months to tell the story and do all the urban legend stuff and bring in new Digimon and Dim cards and evolutions and new Digivices and all of that stuff. That potentially means there's still 9 months worth of programming. Now 9 months sounds like a lot, but if you break that down into weekly episodes, that is at minimum, providing there's no other hiatus or break. That is at minimum going from next week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, skip Christmas, 23 for New Year's Day, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So if we say the first Sunday in April, that is April 2nd. Right, that is still 36 episodes to work with. I think we have plenty of time. I think we have plenty of time to work out everything. I don't think there's reason to panic just yet. If that works out being true. I hope Black Tailmon is at least paid for jumping between the worlds. It'd be funny. When we finally do catch up to Hokuto, we just see it handing Black Tailmon over its wages for the month. I dig it. I would dig it. But anyway, at the very minimum, right? 36 weeks to work with if the show ran until at least April 2nd. It could go beyond. It could go beyond. It could end sooner. But if you want to run with that theory, there's 36 weeks minimum of episodes. 30 would be 37, but you skip over Christmas week, right? I think they aired an episode this year on New Year's weekend. But if we skip that, that's still 35 weeks. Still not awful. Still a lot of time to work with there. Hell, there's a whole season almost to work with there. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about the plot. I think it'll all work out in the end. I don't think anyone needs to worry. If that ended up being true, we don't know yet. So moving on to Clatter's comment. Clatter said then, kind of on the same page as Pedra here. The episode was indeed interesting to watch, and it was a bit unnerving seeing Sepikmon literally dragging Kyoshiro toward the Styx River like that, but yeah, it was a good-ish episode, and I'll simply give it a 3.8. Interesting score. Like, valid. I just... Not dealing in 0.5s it's tallying that up at the end will just become a nightmare if we started down that road. But that's good. I mean, like, that's what it's basically a 4 out of 5 episode, but there's just enough niggly bits to not completely be 4 out of 5. So it's what a 78% roughly ish. But anyway, I have to say though, if Jellymon wasn't so hyper over that serum that Mummymon gave to her, I'm pretty sure Jellymon would have some pretty spicy words. She would have been throwing. I'm pretty sure Jellymon would have some pretty spicy words she would have been throwing at Sepikmon and making sure what happened to Kyoshiro did not happen to anyone else again. But this simply is not the proper tone for the show, nor proper development for the characters. Hmm. I I don't know if I agree. I think the tone is consistent. As far as character development goes, I would like to see Kyoshiro have an episode where he's not the fraidy cat and he sort of gets over it. I don't want him to get over his fears entirely because that is an element of his character, but I would like to see his personality develop past, oh no, the ghosts are out to get me. So yeah, it's What's interesting for this show is we don't know what proper means for this show yet. I don't think so. Yeah, but I mean, it's not an invalid opinion all the same. So you know, but again, if the April theory, I don't, let's not start putting stock in that. Let's not put stock in the quote unquote April theory. But if that were to happen, I still think we have plenty of time to work out those kinks. So, Eitaro, always good to see you. Surprise! You thought it was a cute nurse lady, but it was me, Betsumon. What's really shocking about this episode is Kyoshiro almost dies, and it's not Jellymon's fault for once. That's fair. Um. Also, given Kyoshiro suffers a near heart attack every week, I call bull on an MRI scan showing nothing wrong with him. Oh, that is fair. You would think maybe at this stage the scan would pick up. Sir, you're under quite an awful lot of stress lately. Has anything significant changed in your life? Oh, well, let me tell you about the monsters. Yeah, maybe we'll just put him in a padded room. Hmm. Maybe that doesn't work out well for Kyoshiro. Anyway, so Justin's comment then. Justin says, "Wow, I find it funny Kyoshiro gets blown up by Picklemon. Sorry, I know you said Piccolomon, but the subtitles are going to call him a pickle." I find it funny that Kyoshiro gets blown up by Picklemon's bomb and has a near-death experience, and somehow Taichi rises from the ground after being attacked by Millenniumon. After watching the episode, different levels of protagonist power. Different levels of protagonist power. After watching the episode, I couldn't help but feel that Kyoshiro had it rough pretty much the whole episode. He was pretty much targeted the whole episode. Oh, sorry, Helen. He was pretty much targeted. The episode even made me believe that he got hit by a car, but it turns out he just hit his head. Just how unlucky can a child with a degree get? I even think they played the classic horror movie bit when you're hiding from the killer and walks past your hiding spot only to find you a second. Oh yeah, I think we call that out as well. Like that is proper horror trope. Like, oh no, he hasn't seen me. That's good. Okay, I just need to be quiet for a little while longer to make sure he's gone, and then jump scare. Hell, we were talking about the new Resident Evil. Were we at the start of the podcast? We've been watching the Netflix new Resident Evil show, and it's fine. It could be any zombie sci-fi show. It just seems to have the Resident Evil vernacular on it to pop a rating, but it's fine as a zombie sci-fi show. But that even does that trope with one of the Cerberus early on. So yeah, it's just a thing horror does. But that is one thing I like about this show. Like, it does the tropes in a nice way that, like, it's still for the target demographic. So it's a nice, it commits to the bit, but it doesn't go out of its way to give you nightmares, But anyway. I swear, when I saw the nurse and it turned out to be Betsumon in disguise, I was like, oh god, he's back. Haven't you tortured me enough? And one thing I loved was just having Mummymon acting like a doctor. I'm pretty sure he and Datamon from Cyber Sleuth would be best of friends. Yeah, Dr. Datamon, that was fun. That was a fun quest. Overall, I liked the episode and I give it a 3. Yeah, perfectly fair. I thought Kyoshiro was going to have a moment where he goes, I'm Higashi God damn it, I cannot say that name. Higashi Mitarai Kyoshiro Limit Break. Who knows, he may be a fan of Final Fantasy. Did anyone hear of the potential leaks of Scarlet and Violet yet? If they're true, it's sounding pretty interesting. Yeah, I seen a leak that came out regarding regional forums and things like that, and I'm just like, interesting. I won't go into it here for those who want to remain untainted. But I would be happy to discuss it further on the Discord. We have a whole spoiler section for that. So, um, yeah, definitely. We can chat about that on the Discord. I do not mind that at all. Because if it's true, I'm interested. I don't know if it will mean anything long term for the franchise or if it's just going to be the gimmick for this generation, but be fun all the same. Just add a Pokemon section to the Digimon Discord. Well, I mean, it's either that or we go on our usual half-hour Pokemon tirade. For Yami's benefit, of course. Uh, but yeah. Um. Okay, so that's it. Like those are the comments on last week's. Thank you everyone for the feedback. Always appreciated. Um and with that, I think we're in a position to finish up. Um let's make contests of fanfic writing. Oh well, I haven't paid attention to Pokemon since Sun and Moon. Uh, I want to say you're missing out, but hmm. And you know what? No, Arceus is worth playing, and Let's Go is a nice modern retelling of Pokemon Yellow. Sword and Shield, though, uh, it's serviceable after you get past the opening 5 hours. I mean, Yellow was awful. Well, I mean, well, either way, it's a nice modern version of it. Brings it up to brings it up to 3D. Adds in modern gameplay mechanics outside of the throwing because that is Pokemon Go's catching mechanic, but everything else is fine. Not being able to kick or annoy Pikachu or evolve Pikachu got annoying. Like Raichu. Well, you can catch other Pikachu and evolve that one, but yeah. But then if you have save data from the Let's Go games and you play Sword and Shield, you'll get a Pikachu that can Gigantamax. And it looks like Pikachu from Gen 1 when it was nice and fat. It's great. And it has this super long tail as well. It's fun. Um Eevee just gets fluffier because reasons. I much prefer Gigantamax Pikachu being like fat Pikachu, but over the Eevee just being fluffier. But it is what it is. Oh god, 10 best anime. Oh, okay. You know what? I can do that. Fat Pikachu is best Pikachu. Hold on. Let me get a notebook. Let me just open up Notepad here so I can copy paste. So, my 10 favorite anime. I'm going to go in no particular order here. Uh, mm, God, what have I? I'm just typing these out. I'm thinking about what I've watched recently. versus old favorites. Um, we tried to buy a fat Pikachu over Christmas, but he went out of stock so fast. Oh yeah, yeah. I need to try and look into that because then I tried to order one off Amazon, and Amazon were like, "Yeah, we'll get back to you on that." And then like 2 months later, they were like, "Yeah, we couldn't get it. Sorry, we've cancelled your order." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." Um, uh, okay, don't mind the movements of the avatar. They are tied to buttons, button prompts, and when I do like exclamation points and brackets and things, there's different motions because they're tied to like 1, 9, 5, that sort of stuff. So, uh, hold on, give me a sec here because I've got 5 on the list here, but just have a look at my collection. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. Just got a few reminders there. Uh, and that is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And then sure, we'll throw in a few. That's 9. The brain goes, "What's an anime?" when asked these kind of questions. Yeah. And let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Okay. Let me have a look at. Just going through the Crunchyroll app and just like, is there something I haven't watched in a while? Oh, that sounds like a nice wholesome anime. My stepmom's daughter is my ex. That sounds like a really wholesome anime. Um. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need this. Derp. How did I forget about that? Okay. No joke. It's actually very wholesome. Oh, nice of the YouTube chat section to not keep my spacing. Okay, hold on. There you go. So my top 10 then are Shinzo, G Gundam, Digimon, all because it would be cheating to put them all on the one list, right? That's cheating. BNA Brand New Animal, Yu-Gi-Oh up to 5Ds, Psychopaths, Gurren Lagann, Saint Seiya, all of it. Squid Girl because it's just fun, and the Slayers. I mean, okay. I'm sorry, not enough Dragon Quest and Bleach. Or no, it's Bleach still a thing. Not enough Dragon Quest and I don't know. What else do you try and get me to watch every week? Well, that's the fun thing about lists, right? They're all subjective. Nobody is right and nobody is wrong. Some of my stuff there is old, and I know. Uh, Like, how many people in the chat actually remember what Shinzo is? Honestly, who actually remembers what Shinzo is? I only know of it because of yeah. See, and that is old. Shinzo is old. I know Yami knows Shinzo. We bonded over that, but the Monogatari series, I can appreciate that. Yakumo is as annoying as Relina for the same reason. It's funny because in Japanese it's called Mushirambo. Yeah, I know. I have a mini disc of the opening theme, like a mini disc. That's what it was published on. It was published on a 4.5 inch mini disc. I have it upstairs. But I actually prefer the dub. I prefer the dub version because all the battles in the Japanese version are all set to like freaking smooth jazz, and it's weird. Um, there's all this real hardcore, um, all these really hardcore shenanigans going on, and it's undercut by saxophones and things, and it's just like, wait, what? And then you get to the dub one, and it's like early '90s Saban rock music, and you're just like, yeah, let's go. Um, Interesting first experience with Gundam. There was a character in Gundam that I saw that cross-dressed at some point in the series. I didn't know when and looked extremely pretty. So I watched the first season and the second season until that episode and then dropped it. I don't really know why I dropped it. I really liked and enjoyed the series. The original Street Fighter 2 movie is the same. The dub is superior. The cheery, smooth music just sounds. Oh, yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird just having like smooth jazz under your death battles. It just doesn't fit tonally. Um, Yu-Gi-Oh franchise up to Zale. I never I God, I think I got up to Cripes. What episode of Zale did I get up to? And then I was just like, nah, I'm not interested anymore. I think it was the one where Yuma goes to the dojo and it's got like the wooden carvings of all the old monsters. And that episode, like there's the theory in that episode that the guy running the dojo is an older Yugi. I don't really buy into that, but yeah, well, Full Metal's a good show. It's not one of my favorites, but it's very good. I like it and Brotherhood. I know Brotherhood is the preferred one as it stays closer to the manga or whatever, but I like both versions. And then like there is other stuff. Like geez, Ikitosen, um Initial D, right, what else? Bleach. Like Bleach is just Dragon Ball with swords, you know. Um I like the first version of the Card Fight Vanguard anime. a picture of my dog with a blonde wig one time saying, AJ, play with me. Yeah, you're I don't know. I don't know why we're still a thing after that. I should have taken that as a red flag there and then, but no, no. Um uh Dragon Maid's pretty good. Now the thing with Psychopaths is like I really enjoyed the first season. The second season not so much because it feels like they just tried to do the first season again but with less episodes. And then I never watched the third one. So but I still love that first season. Um Panty, there's still a few things I need to watch. Like I need to go back and watch things like Panty and Stocking. Like I have the Blu-ray set for it because I picked it up cheap in a CEX, but I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Um, Hobbits is really good, if not creepy in one or two places. Um, Angelic Layer, I love. Um, like Angelic Layer, like is a really fun show. Akudama Drive, I think I've seen Akudama Drive. Um, Haruhi Suzumiya, it's another really good one. It's a shame it never continued because the manga is so far ahead now. It's a shame the anime sort of died after Endless Eight. Spy Family, I want to see more of it, but it's definitely my favorite new season. Yeah, like you say. Beastars is also really good. Still need to watch season two. Um, Bleach is getting a new season. Yeah, I don't like that idea. Like it ended. Just because Dragon Ball and One Piece are still going, it doesn't mean we need to revive Bleach from the dead. Um, Angelic, forgot about Angelic Layer. Your inspirations from that show did make me curious to watch it. Yeah, that is a story for another time though, because it is getting later. On depression, watch and then read Hoseki no Kuni, also known as Land of the Lustrous. Ooh. Um, yeah, my history with Angelic Layer can wait for another day. Um, right. Well, I think we're good. Um, Bleach wasn't done yet. The anime was incomplete. Really? Oh, I thought when it ended, that was it. It was over. Oh, okay. See, here's the like. I think after the Bount arc, I kind of dropped Bleach. If I remember right, I got to the Bount arc, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. I've had my fill. I could see how formulaic this was going to get already, which, given the shows that I am into, like, yeah, it is what it is. The saga of Tanya the Evil is actually pretty damn good. So if you haven't seen that one, I'd say watch it. I have one or two friends recommending I watch Noragami. I need to get into that at some stage. Um, Fate Stay Night. Uh, Hack Sign is an anime I go back and forth on. Like, I really like Hack Sign, and then like the main character Sukasa, I'm just like I want to punch them in the face so much at the best of times. It's but like dot hack in general is something I want to go back to hard way on. Like I'd love to get back into that series proper and play maybe rewatch the anime with a more because I'm older now than when it first came out. A lot older. What? So I'd love to see it and see how my tastes have changed and if stuff that resonated with me back then still does, or if I feel differently towards stuff I didn't like. So a lot of the dot hack anime I'd love to get back into. It's just super hard to find these days. Um, yeah. Um, I got past the Aran car, I think, and then gave up after that. The manga is more like the reboot. I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much. Yeah, yeah. Haseo's fine. I mean, I'm more of a Kite and Black Rose person, or Balmung. Well, this shindig looks like the bomb diggity. Like this silly sort of campiness to it. I am much more of a Kite and Black Rose person than I am like a Haseo and Pi person. But again, like to each their own. Like what's good about that franchise as well is like there's so many different arcs and timelines and eras because of the concept around it. It's really there's a lot of appeal for different people at different eras in that series. Um, My Hime, oh yeah, My Hime was really good. I wasn't really, I didn't really get into the second one, but the original My Hime was pretty good. My Otome, that's the one. Um, Orca was just absent during half the series for understandable reasons. Yeah, and with this being the 20th anniversary of Dot Hack, I'm hoping the first four games get a reboot or not a reboot, a remake. I would like them to sell Dot Hack games that aren't GU, and if they do that, oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with those. I would love to play the original four Dot Hack games again, but PlayStation 2 games, and they are incredibly difficult to find. They are bloody gold dust now. I regret ever having sold them. Because I did have all four, and I regret ever having sold them. Um, Excuse me. So I'd love to get those back, or just get remasters. Just release the games and put a fresh coat of paint on them. I'd be happy enough with that. We don't need a ground up remake or anything. Um, all right. TMNT 2003. Yeah, that was fine. That was the 4 Kids one, wasn't it? That was a yeah, that show was fine. I didn't really have any problem with that. That was like I watched it. I don't remember disliking it at all until they went to space. Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? That was it. They did. They went to space, didn't they? Oh, right. Okay. Um, right, chat. I think that's about where we'll finish up for tonight. I am ready for bed. It is only 11:15, but it's been a long day and I'm roasting because it's warm. It's so warm. The window is wide open and it's still just warm. Oh, Tokyo. Yeah, everything got rebooted, didn't it? Tokyo Mew Mew as well. Jeez, everything's getting resurrected and rebooted. Ah, nice. Sleepy from my birthday party. Oh, you're welcome, Reiko. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone for being here. Again, like these, our Sunday chats are always a highlight of the week. Um, so thank you all for being here as always. Um, and I hope you had a good birthday, Desmond. Happy birthday again. Actually, before I forget, because I was in the middle of setting it up and then I just honestly forgot. If you haven't seen it over on the Discord yet, then I shall do our weekly uh, art display from our resident Digimon artist. So let me just get that set up. All these old shows with new manga accurate adaptations, and the mangas are finished this time, and yet they rarely seem good. Yeah, I think it's because you have a version of events in your head. So the remakes always feel like they're redoing history, so to speak. You know, they always feel just like alternate timelines, which is fine. We're in a culture of alternate timelines and variants and different things and that. Like, you know, at base value, that's fine. But I think if you have a set idea of how a show is meant to go, and then it just does a 180 on that, it does leave you feeling kind of sour. Um, so, this is our. Oh, Wormon, are you okay, bud? Do you want to stay there or you want to move over here? Good lad. Okay. So this is each week we do show off Reiko's newest endeavor. And I really like Sepicmon here. I think the textures on like the fur and the bandages and the mask are really good. Wormy wants to be part of the art. Well, Wormy is a work of art, So I mean, if he just shrinks himself down like a Pokemon and lets in Pokemon Arceus, he be in the frame too, and there we go. But he actually does fit in rather well because of the colors. He actually does fit in rather well. It's actually kind of funny. Right, Wormon, get out of the picture. Good lad. Um, this week's drawing was bad. I don't think so. Again, I love the textures. The wood effect on the mask is really good. The mask is still creepy because the eyes are Algomon eyes, and its color scheme is very Majora's Mask, which Algomon also looks like. Algomon also looks like Majora's Mask. So all of it works. And then just the textures on the hands, the fur, the bandages, all of it. I think it's a really fun image. And then there's the textless version. That's all, so all really good. There's a piece of artwork that I can't. Well, I've shown it off on social media, but you'll see it as soon enough for those on the YouTube end of things, because Reiko has done something pretty sweet for me, as we're going to be playing Digimon Survive in 2 weeks. So there's going to be a custom bit of artwork ready to go for that playthrough. So it's all really good. I think the angle is still odd. Everything else looks really good. But the shading and texture doesn't fit a terrible composition. I don't know. Reiko, take the compliment. We understand you're an artist and artists are never satisfied with their work, but please take the compliment. Did I? That. Yes. For a moment I forgot I did it. Rude! Right. Okay. No, that's not the one I want. Okay, that's enough, I think. That's enough. Oh, please be satisfied. Phrasing. Um, you can't ask an artist to take a compliment. I just did. They don't have to take the compliment, but I can at least ask. It's the only not we're not going to agree with you on the whole. Um but like just before I finish up, like I do agree with what Yami was saying about these reboots that are staying closer to the manga and not feeling as lively, or they don't have the same feeling as the original shows. Like I Cardcaptor and Sailor Moon as well, like they got reboots, and maybe it's just a case of it's not what I grew up with. Maybe there's an element of Gen 1ism about it, but those anime don't feel like the originals that would have been on TV when I was growing up as well. So I completely get where you're coming from on that. I do. I totally get where you're coming from on that. Um, you'll always hate your own work for different reasons. I get that, but people like it at the end of the day, so it shows it's not as bad as you think. And you say it's at the level of the drawing of Ayataramon. Ah, I need to go back and look at the Ayataramon drawing, and I'll come back to you on that. So, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. Well then, one more time, thank you everybody who joined in this week. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. Um, Next week we're finally getting Lamormon by the looks of it. Nostalgia is why we don't like remakes, even if they are closer to the manga. Very true. If you say it is, I'll punch you. Well, I'll come back to you on that one, Reiko. Old art styles to the modern computerized version also knock several points off a show. Yeah, that's true. There is something about like old 90s, 80s hand drawn cells versus the overly computerized drawings of today. I get that. I understand it's easier for the animators, and they don't get enough respect, so anything that makes their jobs easier, amazing. But there is a certain charm that's lost. Yeah, I totally get that. But I'm the same since Toy Story came out. uh, I miss traditional stuff instead of weird 3D people. Yeah. Well, look, we can carry these conversations on in the Discord. So, if you haven't yet, join the Discord. Let's carry these conversations on and, you know, continue the banter and the fun and everything else. But for now, it is 11:30 at night. I need to get to bed. Sleepmon is calling me. And not Sleepmon, Sleepmon. So I'm gonna go and kowtow to its desires and try and get a full night's sleep. I can work tomorrow, so hopefully I shall see you tomorrow night back over on Twitch as we continue on with the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. That game is super fun and super crazy, and if you enjoyed our playthrough of the first game, I think you'll definitely enjoy this. So hopefully I'll see you for that. And then we've also obviously got Digimon Survive in a few weeks, so amazing. Juggernaut, have yourself a good night. Yami, you too. Reiko, you as well. Desmond, I think Pedja's already gone, but to everyone who stayed till the end, thank you all. Much love. Honestly, join the Discord. Let's get some chats. Let's carry on these discussions because they've been fun. Favorite anime, classic animation versus modern, all of that stuff. Let's carry it forward. But I'll see you for more Digimon next week. Take care, look after yourselves, and good morning.